Welcome back to our international viewers, and thanks for joining us for our daily English news edition, Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. The International Monetary Fund is asking the government to bring back the small business tax and eliminate any of the exemptions that have been made so far. In an interview for Aura News, the chief of the IMF mission said that the negotiations will be held next week when the mission arrives in Tirana. He stated that the taxes should not be decreased, but if they are, a method of replacing this revenue should be found. We are advising the government to look carefully at all the existing exemptions from taxes, he said, and at the tax rates that are set to zero, because there may be gaps in the tax system. When asked what other taxes the IMF mission will ask for, Mr. Reinke had this to say: "This is an issue that we will discuss with the mission soon. There are a number of exemptions for different sectors and different products, but it would be good to speak about concrete proposals after conversing with the authorities. At a time when a reduction of royalties and the VAT on tourism is being requested, the IMF rep says that the decision is up to the government. However, if it does not decide to take these steps, other taxes should be increased to compensate." He said, "These decisions are up to the government, but if there is a decision to cut taxes, there should be compensation, raising taxes elsewhere or cutting expenditures. We see that there is no room for further spending cuts. If there is a tax cut in a particular sector, then another sector needs to pay more. Certainly, it belongs to the Albanians to decide whether this is the right thing. The IMF thinks that it would not be better to raise the number of exemptions or give preferential rates for certain sectors," said Mr. Reinke. The Assembly Speaker Ilir Meta held a meeting today with the Vice President of the World Bank for Europe and Asia, Cyril Muller. During their conversation, Mr. Meta expressed the need for World Bank assistance in administrative reinforcement and the growth of capacities in the country. Mr. Muller praised Albania's progress during the recent years and noted that it is important to advance the agenda of major reforms, especially the justice reform. In this way, Albania can face its economic challenges, which affect not only the region, but all of Europe. Mr. Meta praised the contributions of the Venice Commission and other international partners. He expressed the determination to conclude the final phase of adopting the constitutional amendments in order to advance the justice reform. According to Meta, this reform is crucial for increasing the reliability of the business climate for foreign investors. Lastly, Meta and Muller discussed the latest developments in the region and shared the conviction that sustainable economic development requires a regional approach. The Democratic chairman Lulzim Basha said today that the opposition will not withdraw from its decision to block the plenary session until its conditions are met. The opposition is demanding the adoption of the bylaws on decriminalization. They also want the MPs who have violated the Constitution to be taken before the Constitutional Court. Mr. Basha accused the Prime Minister of trying to hamper the decriminalization and the justice reform. Speaking after the meeting of the Democratic Party group, which was held behind closed doors, Basha made the statement that the situation is grave. He accused the Prime Minister of defending and promoting the criminals. He said, "The Democratic Party group has decided to block tomorrow's plenary session if the majority does not reconsider, and if Rama refuses to legally suspend Armando Prenga. If Edi Rama and his people refuse to give the Constitutional Court the right to judge the 3 MPs who have stolen the public wealth, and if Edi Rama continues to hamper the work of the Inquiry Commission, and if Edi Rama hampers the decriminalization, he will face our determination in Parliament," said Basha. He added that the Prime Minister is using every means at his disposal to hamper the justice reform. It's reported that there were debates between the MPs in the Democratic group meeting today. The MP Gent Ruli felt that if the opposition makes the decision to boycott, they should stay firm in their decision. However, the MP Mailinda Bregu asked for a clear strategy for the opposition's reaction. She requested that the reaction should be based on clear and defined causes. With only a few days left before the gathering of the Socialist Party Congress, The MP Blushi has made 8 proposals to the party. Blushi has been outspoken in his rejection of Rama's policies, and his proposals have primarily to do with the socialist state. According to him, the majority has been ruling in exactly the same way as the right wing would have. Speaking on the changes to the party statute, Mr. Blushi declared that they are being made only for the purposes of one man, Edi Rama. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been informed that we are going to take you live to the City Hall where Mayor Veliaj is addressing the business owners.
Dhe me këtë propozim besoj, kryetar, me këtë propozim, biznesi I mesëm dhe I vogël, besoj se nuk falimentojmë. Do e diskutojmë gjithë bashkë, se kemi dhe një hartu, dhe do flasim mas najti qëmë përgjigjen kryetarit.
Çfarë propozim?
Ja, flet avokati.
Shpjegoje ty.
Këtu bëj fjalë për një negociatë të vështirë me 3 raunde, e cila kërkonte që të largonte falimentin nga dyert e biznesit vogël të mesëm, por negociata që u zhvillua sot prekte edhe biznesin e madh, pra të gjitha kategoritë e biznesit. Nuk u bën ndarje pra ndërmjet bizneseve, po nga kjo ofertë që erdhi përfitojnë që të gjithë. Bëhet fjalë për një marrëveshje e cila e zeron taksën e tavolinës, e cila ishte 25.000 lekë për çdo tavolinë, bëhet zero. Një sekond. Taksa e tarifa e hapësirës publike, për të ruajtur parimin që rrugët kryesore duhet lirohen dhe duhet ngushtohen në sipërfaqe ata të cilët abuzojnë në sipërfaqen, u dha një propozim I cili unë doja paraqes me hartë, I cili e hartëzon Tiranën, pra e ristrukturon dhe të gjithë ata që kanë qenë zona B kalojnë zonë C me 400 lekë metër katror, ndërsa të gjithë ata të cilët kanë qenë zona A kalojnë zonë B me 7.500 lekë metër katror, zona A ngelet vetëm pjesa e bllokut
Nga kave.
dhe bulevardit kryesor I Tiranës dhe kompleksi qeveritar këtu në qendër. Kjo ndarje e re, mendojmë se e strukturon në një mënyrë të tillë taksën e hapësirës që është e rëndë, duhet ta theksojmë, është e rëndë, por nuk është falimentuese. U takon tregtarëve ta vendosin nëse do e pranojnë këtë propozim. Kjo betejë vazhdon në Këshillin Bashkiak, sepse po përgatiten aktet për të dorëzuar në Këshill Bashkiak që të merret një vendim I ri për ta ndryshuar. I bëjmë thirrje gjithë këshilltarëve që të japin ndihmë që kjo të përmirësohet si propozim fillestar. Që të bëhet një propozim ndoshta edhe më I mirë se kaq. Por e ritheksojmë, taksa e tavolinës bëhet zero. 2 muajt që u kanë ardhur janar shkurt, nuk paguen më. Paguen me tarifat e vjetra. Pra hiqen këto fatura që u kanë ardhur në 2 muajt e parë, nuk do I paguani. Do paguani vetëm me tarifën e vjetër. Pra me 1.500 lekë metri për ato 2 muaj, ndërsa nga marsi e tutje është bërë rizonimi siç u shpjegova dhe në rizonim ata që kanë qenë zonë B kalojnë zonë C me 4.000 lekë metri, ndërsa ata që kanë qenë zonë A kalojnë zonë B me 7.500 lekë metri, por zona A ngelet vetëm kompleksi qeveritar në qendër dhe pjesa derdeliqeni e bllokut. Kaq, faleminderit.
O shumë shtrenjtë, shumë shtrenjtë. Shumë shtrenjtë është prap. Shumë, 7.500 lekë për metër është shumë shtrenjtë. Nuk e pranojmë. Ngrijemi ne si tregtar, është shumë shtrenjtë, 7.500 lekë metrit. Kush do të vi? Shumë 7.500 lekë, e ka gabim ai. Nuk pranohet nga tregtari.
Do na japësh pak harën, pastaj të bëjmë një foto. Besian, do flasësh? Një sekond.
Ja, nuk pranohet 7.500. O shumë shtrenjtë 7.500 lekë një metër.
Hapuni pak.
Shumë shtrenjtë. Bëhet fjalë shumë shtrenjtë, 7.500 lekë. Janë gjëra të vjetra. Shumë shtrenjtë. Shumë shtrenjtë. Aja jena me.
Kryetari,
Nuk jemi dakord. Gjëra të vjetra, nuk jemi dakord.
kryetari I bashkisë ka bërë një propozim të ri. Një propozim I cili vlen që të shqyrtohet nga komuniteti I biznesit. Është një propozim I cili ristrukturon zonat, I cili Sigurisht që është hequr një taksë e cila ishte rënduese falimentuese për lokalet. Sigurisht që ngushtimi i zonës ndoshta favorizon në krahasim me tarifimin e mëparshëm që kishte parashikuar, favorizon disa biznese periferike, por përsëri ngelet problematike për sa i përket.
Despite the encouragement of the government to insure agricultural land, the insurance coverage in the agricultural sector remains very low. This continues to be the case, even though it has been the most affected by flood damage in the recent years. The executive director of Eurosig Insurance Company explains that they are now cooperating with the Ministry of Agriculture to change this situation. Much of the agricultural land is in high-risk areas, and the culture of insuring land has not yet developed. The director said, "We want to stay close to these people who do not understand the benefits they receive by insuring their land. Despite the increase of the tax on insurance from 3% to 10%, the Eurosig director gave his assurance that there will be no price increase for the citizens. In January, the insurance market suffered a decrease of 14%, which was affected by the decrease in voluntary insurance." Tirana's Mayor Erion Veliai held a meeting in his office today with the U.S. Ambassador Liu, the OSCE Ambassador Braunig, the German Ambassador Hoffman, and the Ombudsman Igli Totozani. Ora News sources say that the meeting was about the continuation of the Conference of Donors, which was held in January, and to provide support for the projects of the City Hall. After the 60-minute meeting, the ambassadors did not comment on the issues they discussed. However, the Ombudsman said that the focus of the meeting was providing shelter for the Roma community. Other sources have informed us that the meeting was about the construction of the playground at the artificial lake area and the negotiations with business owners on several taxes. Thanks for choosing Ora News as your source for updates in English. Have a great night and see you tomorrow.